Hi, I'm going to continue to read chapters 7, 8, and 9 from Miss Child Has Gone Wild for My First Book Club. Here we go. Chapter 7, The Truth About Miss Child. We walked all over the zoo and saw a bunch of other animals. Birds, snakes, walruses, alligators, monkeys. Animals are cool. Did you know that there are more than 1,000,000 species of animals on Earth? Said my zoo buddy, Andrea. She is so annoying. Little Miss Know-It-all had to read every sign about every animal so she could go home and show her parents how smart she is. Soon, it was time for lunch. We walked back to the room where we left our backpacks. Everyone took out a lunchbox, except one person. Me. "Where's my lunch?" I said to Miss Hannah. "Your lunch is wherever you left it, AJ," she told me. Ugh, I don't like when grown-ups say that. "Arlo must have left his lunch bag at school," said Andrea. "I guess he wasn't paying attention when Mr. Granite told us to be sure to take our lunches with us." "I wasn't paying attention to your face," I told Andrea. All the kids sat at a long picnic table to eat their lunch. Mr. Granite and Miss Hannah sat at another table for grown-ups. Miss Child said she would get me a sandwich from the zoo cafeteria. She said I could have a turkey or tuna sandwich. "Do you have turkeys or tuna in the zoo?" I asked. It would be weird to eat a sandwich made for an animal that was running around in the zoo. "We have turkeys in the zoo," Miss Child said. "Oh, then I'll have a tuna sandwich," I told her. Miss Child ran out and came back with a tuna sandwich and a carton of milk for me. "I'll be back in a few minutes," she told us. "I promised the baboons that I would eat lunch with them today." Here they are eating lunch. "Miss Child is weird," Alexia said when she left. "Yeah, I think she loves animals a little too much," said Michael. "Maybe she's not a zookeeper at all," I said. "Did you ever think of that?" "What do you mean?" asked Emily. "Well," I said, "maybe Miss Child kidnapped the real zookeeper and is just pretending to be a zookeeper because she's obsessed with animals." "Oh, stop trying to scare Emily," said Andrea. "I'm scared," said Emily. "Maybe Miss Child locked the real zookeeper in a cage filled with poisonous rattlesnakes," said Alexia. "Stuff like that happens all the time, you know." "We've got to do something," shouted Emily, and then she ran out of the room. "Sheesh! Get a grip. That girl will fall for anything." After Emily ran away, Alexia gave me a high five, and Andrea gave me a mean face. Chapter 8, Penguin Paradise. Mr. Granite and Miss Hannah went to find Emily. Miss Child came back from her lunch with the baboons. She said that after we finished eating, it was free zoo time. We could go wherever we wanted in the zoo as long as we held hands with our zoo buddy. Miss Child said she would be Alexia's zoo buddy until Emily got back. "I want to look at the reptiles," said Neil the nude kid. "I want to look at the birds," said Michael. "I want to go look at tigers," said Ryan. All the kids ran out of the room to go look at animals. "What do you want to look at, Arlo?" Andrea asked me. There was only one animal I wanted to look at, my favorite animal in the whole world: penguins. Andrea and I had to walk about 1,100,000 miles to Penguin Paradise. She was holding my hand the whole time. Ugh, disgusting. "Arlo, if we were married," Andrea said as we walked along the path, "we would hold hands like this all the time. Holding hands is so romantic." I thought that I was going to throw up. "Can I ask you a question, Arlo?" Andrea said. "You just did," I told her. "Do you like that new girl Alexia better than me?" Andrea asked. "No," I said. Yes. The truth was I didn't like Alexia better than Andrea, and I didn't like Andrea better than Alexia. I didn't like either of them. I didn't like any girls. Girls are yucky, except for my mom. She is not yucky, but I'll bet she was yucky when she was a girl, because all girls are yucky. Finally, we got to Penguin Paradise. There are penguins everywhere, hundreds of them. They were waddling around, jumping in the water, and swimming. It was cool. I pressed my nose against the glass. Ever since I was a baby, I loved penguins. I had a stuffed penguin in my crib. On Halloween one year, I dressed up like a penguin. I saw that movie March of the Penguins about 10 times. I love penguins. Looking at all those penguins walking around, it was like I was hypnotized. It almost seemed like they were talking to me. Come with us, AJ, one of the penguins seemed to whisper in my ear. We'll go to Antarctica. Kids don't have to go to school in Antarctica, whispered a second penguin. No, teachers, whispered another penguin. No parents, whispered another. Best of all, no Andrea, said another penguin. Come with us and live in peace, another penguin said. We'll slide around on the ice all day. It'll be penguin paradise. I'm coming, I told the penguins. I want to be with you. Suddenly, I felt something grab the back of my shirt. It was Andrea's hand. Arlo, are you okay? She asked. You started climbing into the penguin pool. It looked like you were in a daze. Who were you talking to? Ugh, nobody, I said. That was weird. Suddenly, Miss Child and Alexia came running over. They looked all upset. What's wrong? Andrea asked. Emily is still missing, Miss Child said. We can't find her anywhere. Chapter 9. In Search of Emily. We looked all over the zoo for Emily. We looked in Turtletown, Alligator Avenue, Lizard Lane, Rhino Road, Bat Boulevard, Zebra Zone, Snake Street, and Hedgehog Highway. We searched the bathrooms, the snack bars, and the gift shop. No Emily. Emily, we shouted. Where are you? Miss Child, Mr. Granite, and Miss Hannah looked really upset. If Emily was gone forever, the grown-ups would be in big trouble. There were security guards with walkie-talkies hunting for Emily. An announcement came over the zoo loudspeaker. If your name is Emily and you're lost, please report to the zoo office. It was almost time to get back on the bus to go home, and Emily was nowhere to be found. We had run out of places to look for her. The whole class gathered near the snack bar. What are we going to do? Asked Andrea. She looked like she might cry. Emily is my best friend. Maybe she was eaten by a killer whale, I suggested. We don't have killer whales at the zoo, said Miss Child. Maybe she was eaten by a mongoose, said Michael. A mongoose isn't big enough to swallow a whole person, said Mr. Granite. What if the mongoose cut Emily up into little pieces first, asked Ryan. Mongooses don't have knives, said Miss Hannah. Maybe she was eaten by an elephant, said Neil the nude kid. Can we please stop that kind of talk, said Miss Child. The animals at the zoo are kind and gentle. None of them would ever eat a child and blah, 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 blah. Besides, said Andrea, elephants are plant eaters. They eat grasses, leaves, fruit, and bark. Why would anyone want to eat a plant? I said. You should water plants, not eat them. Quiet, Arlo. This is serious. We have to find Emily. Eating plants is weird, I asked. I feel terrible about this, said Miss Child. It's all my fault. You kids were under my supervision. You have supervision? I asked. How cool! Miss Child can see through the walls, said Michael. If you have supervision, said Neil the nude kid, why don't you use it to find Emily? Supervision means to be in charge, dumbheads, said Andrea. Oh, I said. I knew that. This is all my fault, said Mr. Granite. Emily is my student. I should know where my students are at all times. No, it's my fault, said Miss Hannah. I'm the chaperone. I should have been watching her. Oh, I love it when grown-ups argue over whose fault something was. At least if they all think the thing that went wrong is their fault. Sorry about that. Nobody can say it was my fault. Suddenly, I heard a voice calling in the distance. Help! Help! That's Emily's voice, yelled Andrea. Where is it coming from? Yelled Miss Child. Over there, yelled Alexia. Where? We all yelled. Lion Lane. Tune in for the ending. Next time, I will finish the last chapters of the book and we'll see what really happened to Miss Emily. See you soon.